Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hello, hello. I'm Casey Durango of Go Keto with Casey, where I talk about how I lost 97.4 pounds since starting the ketogenic protocol, how you may be able to lose weight, improve your health, and regain control of your life like I did. Hope you're all well. I am well. And if someone can let me know that you can see and hear me, I would really appreciate it. Thank you. Hey, hi, Scott. Thank you. Can see and hear you. I appreciate it. I'm going to jump right on in and talk about something that I've been hearing from people. I hear from a lot of people more and more. And good morning from Michigan. Hey, Judy. Sardines. The I don't know whether it's the phrase keto has become shop worn. People are overwhelmed. They're kind of hearing about it. There's these, opposing forces of of so-called keto products. By the way, there aren't any. And then all the other stuff, eat Ben and Jerry's and go to Taco Bell where everything's a carb and get it for 99 cents. And then there are the holidays. And in the United States, starting October 31st, it is it's a food onslaught for the rest of the year. So here's the thing. So, some people just say, I'm just taking a break. I'm taking a break from this. My brain pan can't take any more thoughts about. I've got enough on my plate, so to speak. You should pardon the expression, without having to worry about or think about or pay attention to what I'm eating. Okay, so again, and as I wrote in the thumbnail, no judgment here. We all have to figure out what does and does not work for us. For those of you who don't know, the ketogenic protocol, as I learned it and as I have practiced it for now going on 9 years, January it will be 9 years, keep your carbohydrate intake to 20 grams of carb per day, total carbs, not net carbs. If it's not on page 4, link below, don't eat it, but you don't even need a food list. It's just fatty sources of protein, limited amounts of full fat dairy, limited amounts of non-starchy vegetables. And you don't even need to eat vegetables if you don't want to. Don't eat if you're not hungry, which I would say unequivocally is the most challenging part for most of us. Stop eating when you're satiated, not stop eating when you're about to pop. And then I've added, be patient and persevere. So that's it. Keep your carbs 20 grams or fewer a day. Why does this work? Because when you reduce your carbohydrate intake sufficiently, your liver stops pumping out glucose, which is sugar, with fire hose. And when the tap is turned off, our bodies happily turn to burning ketones or fat for fuel. Our brains love it. Our bodies love it. It's anti-inflammatory. And then you start burning fat, including body fat, assuming you do not overconsume dietary fat. That's a whole other topic. So that's it. Nothing complicated. You don't have to do math if you don't want to. There's no mention of grams of anything, not protein or fat. No grams of anything other than carbohydrate, 20 or fewer a day, total, not net. Net carbs just means more carbs. And some people can do that, but for me, people like me, no. But some people become overwhelmed and they want to eat the food they want to eat. I understand that. I knew this worked since 1977 when I was a sophomore in college. I knew low carb. This is essentially the induction period of Atkins. I had a very little bit amount of weight to lose. I, had the freshman, I think in my case it was the freshman 13, but it took 2 years to put that on. So I did the induction, threw the book away because I lost the weight. I knew again in the early 2000s it worked. I did it again. Then I did the life came at me. I was diagnosed with the second of 3 cancer diagnoses over the course of my life. I got irritated and I decided to medicate with bagels, tortilla chips, mashed potatoes, and tequila, in addition to the procedures and medications that I was prescribed. I still had cancer, and I put on a bunch of weight. So, and for those of you who don't know, you can see my before photos. I was obese and morbidly obese from my mid-20s to my mid-50s, 30 years. I'd given up on losing weight. I just didn't want to take insulin for type 2 diabetes. Cancer, I was an old pro at that. But I didn't want to take insulin for type 2 diabetes. How to not take insulin for type 2 diabetes came across the white coat video of my friend, Dr. Eric Westman. He wasn't my friend then. He's my friend now. And the answer was keep your carbs 20 grams or fewer. It's not on page 4. That's where the page 4 thing came from. It's a handout that he gives to his clinic patients. Don't eat it, and don't eat if you're not hungry. So I did it. There we go. So that's it. But we get to things like, but we always have stuffing on Thanksgiving, or I don't want to think about it anymore. And you know what? I'm just taking a break. And there are some so-called gurus out there that actually recommend, oh, do a cheat meal. It'll shock your metabolism. It'll shock your system. I think that is malarkey. If I take a knife and jam it into my thigh, it will shock my system. It doesn't mean I'm going to burn body fat. So I'm interested in hearing from people either who have kind of, I'm on a little keto vacay right now, or contemplating it, or how that works. I'm not going to. I'm much more interested in being as happily healthy as I am and what happens next in my life without centering it on what's the next food I'm going to eat, whether it's a holiday or celebration, um, salving my emotional, vulnerabilities. Food does not fix any of those things. The holidays, the get together should be about the people, not about the food. Anyway, so let me start. I'm going to inject something here. I don't usually do this. And I'll come back to the comments because this is more like, what are you guys thinking of doing? From my perspective, it's illogical for me to eat food that made me feel really cruddy. And I mean really cruddy. I was in a low place. I was chronically depressed. Not every day, but those of you who have experienced depression know it doesn't have to be every day. Depression's hard. Everything hurt. I was morbidly obese. I didn't enjoy clothes. So sometimes I just wouldn't accept social invitations because I didn't like the clothes. I didn't have any clothes. I felt like I was tired of being the fattest person in the room. I didn't like myself. My life around me has always been wonderful. I'm one of the luckiest people you'll ever meet. Inside my brain, I was unhappy with myself. I was tired of that. So for me, it was food. The food actually almost immediately my joint pain resolved. My hunger dissipated quickly, actual hunger. I mean, I just didn't my appetite was suppressed. And I've never had another depressive episode. That's hard to believe. That doesn't work that way with everyone. It worked with me. So I'm going to read something. So I have a Patreon group, a private Patreon support group. And every weekday morning I do video snippets. They're pre-recorded, they're not live. I sit at my kitchen counter, crazy hair, either no makeup or yesterday's makeup. I'm a sight. And on Friday morning, the topic was, it's always Reflection Friday. So I kind of reflect on things that I've been hearing from different people, either, the public, through YouTube, through my Facebook group, through my blog, whatever. How to get through. What I do? What do I do? I'm going to be going to Thanksgiving, and then it's going to be holiday parties throughout the month, either the office or with family or neighborhoods or what. I like to recommend to people to try to project themselves to January 1st, 2023, and imagine how they might feel January 1st, 2023. If through no great sacrifice, let's face it, only eating delicious fatty sources of protein and some non-starchy vegetables is hardly punishment. You just lay off the stuff that we know has no nutrition and makes us feel poorly. Imagine having laid off that stuff. How are you going to feel January 1st, 2023? You might feel triumphant for the first time in many Januaries. Or are you going to feel bloated and cruddy? So try to pick which way you want to feel. Again, no judgment. We are adults. We make our decisions. So anyway, Friday morning, I was doing the snippet and I did the bloated versus triumphant thing, And one of the patrons commented underneath it. I'm going to read it to you. I don't usually do this. This person wrote, I ate all the things yesterday, meaning Thanksgiving, with all the trimmings. I said to myself, what the heck? I've not been losing weight. Within an hour, my hands were spasming into extreme arthritic positions. So painful! Exclamation point. I know from experience that it's caused by carb overload. Someone, please thunk me upside the head if I ever do that again. So there are a couple of things packed in there. Well, I haven't been losing weight, so I'll go ahead and eat all the food that made me fat in the first place. That's, illogical. But we know. So many of us know. I hear from people who will be they're rolling along fine, and then they decide to eat carbs. And this is not a trick. It's not a trap. We are not victimless. Victims, we are not powerless. Own the decision. Own the decision. And then accept the consequences, if there are any. But don't, I just can't get through the holidays without. Oh, yes, you can. If you were put on a desert island, you would get through the holidays without the food because you would have no choice. You can get through. If someone said, here's a check for $50,000, don't eat, keep your carbs 20 grams or fewer a day for the rest of the year. That's all you have to do. I bet you could figure out a way to do it. I know I could. I wish someone would give me $50,000 because I could do that in my sleep. Well, technically I could because I don't eat when I'm asleep. So it'd be real easy then. So own the decision, accept the consequences. It's no one's business, certainly not mine, but I am not about to undo all the improvements that I've been blessed with ever since seeing that simple white coat video and making the decision to stick with the protocol. I stuck with it. Not for cosmetic reasons. I didn't want to take insulin for type 2 diabetes. And I never have had to. So I'm now going to turn my attention here to the lovely folks here. Okay, I just jump in. Christina writes, bloated is an understatement. Linda Bridges, hello from Texas. Steph, you can do it, Christina. And Judy Tucker writes, I had no idea about carbs. Was always told, eat your fruits and vegetables, then enjoy your dessert. So that's sugar, and then more sugar. It's all sugar. As far as our liver is concerned, if a carbohydrate comes in, it comes out as simple sugar in our liver. And Judy has lost 150 pounds. Texas native writes, hey, Linda Bridges, I live just south of Houston. Where do you live? And Steph writes, you can do it, guys. Hey, listen, if I can do this, you can do this. Go look at they're not even my heaviest photographs. Those don't exist. Someone would have been shot at sunrise if they'd taken a picture of me at that time. We can do it, guys, writes Steph. Candace V writes, good morning, Casey. Good morning. Cara Z writes, it's best for me to stay on plan. There's always a food event, no matter the time of year. This is for my health, not just weight loss. So it's important to me. This is absolutely right. Not that many generations ago, these really were celebrations, feasts. Food was dear. Sugar was rare. That's why, it was a big deal for someone to make a birthday cake when someone actually survived another year, because the flour and the sugar and the butter and the cream were valuable. And now you can walk into the Harris Teeter and the first thing you see are giant tables stacked high with 5-layer cakes of every color. Jerry Griggs writes, indeed, when I recall the garbage that I used to eat, ugh, and now today I don't want that old Jerry back ever again. Sugar nor carbs was and is not something that is a part of my life anymore. Hallelujah. Now listen, temptation's out there. I'm going to be really blunt with you. I love that Shakaroni commercial. I think it's so cute with Shaquille O'Neal. and he plays all the characters, and it's Papa John's, and it's the largest pizza they make. And I thought I'm gonna order one of those daggum things, and I'm gonna scrape off all the toppings. No, they're sucking me in, though. No, I'm not going to do that. I think about it every time the commercial comes on. I guess I'm their ideal target, but I don't do it. I could scrape off all the things, but for one thing, I'm not gonna spend $14 plus delivery, plus tax, plus a tip to get something that I don't need. If I'm gonna scrape off all the toppings, I'll just go and heck, my husband makes a crustless pizza better than anybody, but he's not here right now. The wolf is always at the door. When I say I can do this in my sleep, it's not because I am never tempted. It's not because I don't miss the foods. I love pizza. I love tortilla chips. That was the thing, even when I knew low carb worked for me, that I would say out loud. I know low carb works. I just can't see going the rest of my life without tortilla chips. Okay, so if you say that, you're probably going to have trouble. Now, and I've said this before, we haven't been a long time because we cook pretty well around here, and we can replicate just about any food that we would have gotten at a restaurant. But like we can go to our favorite Mexican restaurant, and they will, bring over the basket of chips. Oh, no, 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 thank you, no. Not that, oh, don't let me see them. It's just we're not interested. Someone could put a basket of gravel there, and I would I have the same amount of interest in the gravel as I do in the tortilla chips. It can be done, and we eat delicious food. Judy Tucker writes, "Fill your plate with lovely meat. Watch what they say then." Yeah. How do you cook your favorite fatty proteins? Writes Heidi Crane. It's pretty simple, depending on what it is, of course. My cooking pretty much involves a cast iron skillet, some reserved bacon fat, and throw in the fatty source of protein. Or I cook steaks on the big green egg, or I, slow cook pork shoulder. It's very easy. Cooking is quite easy when it's this. There are no recipes. Cast iron skillet, reserved bacon fat, throw in a pork chop, throw in a chicken thigh. I recently got an air fryer, fairly recently, and I love it. So I'll cook things in there. Casey, you are glowing beautifully. I love listening to you as you keep me engaged. Well, thank you very much, Christina. I very much appreciate that. Camera angle, lighting, and makeup. Good morning from East Texas, writes Chloe Megar. And Mohammed Chima writes, can I eat 400 grams of Greek yogurt a day? Okay, 400 grams is what? That's about wow, that's a lot. 30 grams is an ounce. That's a lot. It depends. If it works for you, fine. Greek yogurt is essentially yogurt that has been strained of the whey, so it's creamy. Yogurt and other fermented foods are a little different because the fermentation process eats the sugar. But Mohammed, find what works for you. I don't not eat yogurt. I just don't eat yogurt. I've made yogurt before while on this protocol. Just 400 grams to me, we do things in ounces. That seems like a lot. Certainly that's not 10 ounces. Is that 10 or 8 or 10 ounces? Well, I guess that's a cup. That's a cup. Maybe so. Find what works for you. No, not with fruit in it, though. No fruit. Linda Bridges writes, hi, Texas native. I'm a native too, live north of Dallas. Casey is the best. Oh, thank you. Has been such a help because of her true honesty. Thank you very much. Texas native writes, one thing that keeps me motivated on keto is keeping my blood work results nearby. Excellent. Okay, I'm going to take, you do not have to purchase one thing, not anything to be 100% successful at this. Shameless commerce division, but this thing did make me think of it. First of all, calendars, everything that I'm talking about, you can find on my blog. Calendars, most of them have been sold. There are some left. There is a limited supply. 2023 Go Keto with Casey calendar and Go Keto with Casey 12-month record book. Again, you can see it on my blog. There's a link to my spread shop. I've moved things over from Teespring. I really like it. They've got little stuffed teddy bears that say I can and I will. I mean, I designed these, so I put them up there. Oh, and my t-shirt. Keto in 2021, bring it. Avocado Go Keto with Casey. I've made these t-shirts each year. This happens to be 2021. I've made the Keto in 2023. Bring it t-shirt. Look below. I want to thank patrons. I have a private Patreon support group, and some of them are here. And for, depending on the pledge, I do 20 video snippets. Most of them at the topics are suggested by patrons. I do 20 a month. I just recorded number 1250, I think. Going up from there, a handful of patron-only live streams on Crowdcast a month. I'm doing one in just about 40 minutes. Going up from there, a handful of patron-only video group sessions on Zoom each month. Going up from there, one-on-ones with me a month. So there you go. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Now, blood work. I've been sent something. It was sent to me, and I will be testing it. I haven't even opened the box yet. I don't need it, but other people do seem to like it. A continuous glucose monitor. So I will be doing a review of it. It's one where you put this on and it tracks your blood sugar. Now, what would be great is if they had a continuous insulin monitor, because it's really the insulin. Your glucose can look okay, but it's because your insulin is medicating you from the inside. So hyperinsulinemia is very inflammatory, but science will catch up. And then someone wants to send me a face mask where you put on the LED stuff. I don't know. I don't know about that. They want to send it to me. It's a very expensive item. Okay. Janine Green writes, my son works at a pizza place and comes home with a large one every day. I nibble the topping off one piece, not the least tempted by the crust. I've been keto for almost 2 years, down 50 pounds. Congratulations. And Judy Porterfield writes, thanks for bringing this up, Casey. You're such an inspiration, and this time of year, even more so. I have some things to share, but I'll have to wait for the live stream. Walking the pets, OLL. Okay, Judy's a patron, so she'll be on the patron-only live stream. Kathy Sieber, hello. And Edita Lapsley, hello, lovely people from Scotland. Hello. I love the international flavor of this. May I ask you, Edita, is keto a thing in Scotland well, it can't possibly be to the extent it is here. It's ridiculous. And there is no keto food product. If it says keto on the label, it's not. If it's shelf stable, it's not. It's higher in carbs. So Edita, now also another question. I bought some, I want your opinion on these. These might be over the top. These particular ones aren't going to work for me because of the power, but are these too big? If I got the right powered readers, is this too much? I'm curious. There's this. Here you go. This one or this one? This one or this one, like being at the eye doctor. Texas native Mohammed Chima, I eat yogurt quite a bit. It doesn't seem to bother my blood work results. I add Mio water enhancers for flavor and no sugar whipping cream. As Casey said, find what works for you. Thank you for sharing that, Texas native. Candace V, hopefully I'll be over the Patreon. I'll be on for the Patreon live. For some reason, I haven't been able to type anything the last several lives, so it doesn't look like I'm there. If you're, this is on Crowdcast. If you're on a handheld, undo and if you're using an app, delete it and reinstall it and see if that helps. Hey, CJ, you look lovely, Casey. Both pair look great. Thank you. Looking good. Steph writes, both are cute. Texas native G, hope B vitamins and folic acid stopped my hair loss and added protein. Okay, so hair shedding is normal, and it can come with any dietary change or any physical or mental trauma. But there is just normal shedding. It's telogen effluvium, and it can go in seasonal, and sometimes the patches all kind of line up like a lunar eclipse, and it seems like our hair is falling out. There is no way that eating beautiful protein is going to make you lose your hair. Love both pair of glasses. Thank you. Like number 2. So this is number 2. All right. Is anyone planning on taking a break? I am curious to hear the reasoning behind it. No judgment. I'm just curious. And as Dr. Westman says, okay, so you have a holiday. Just try not to let it turn into Hol a week, which then turns into a Holly month, which then it'll take 6 months to get back to where you were. Tracy Pariso, I work graveyard as a respiratory therapist. Coworkers are supporting me with keto, down 32 pounds. You inspire me. That's fantastic. Adita from Scotland writes, sadly, keto and carnivore is not popular in Scotland. In most countries, it has not been. It's popular as a product here. There are people practicing it. Eggs, cheese, bacon, poultry with the skin, ground beef, chuck roast, shrimp, scallops, salmon, tuna, sardines, ribeye, New York strip, flank steak. It's delicious. You just lay off the carbs. I actually have buttons at I really like Spreadshop much better than Teespring. There are buttons. I laid off the carbs and laid off the excuses. T-shirts, mugs, because it is ultimately we have to lay off the carbs and lay off the excuses. Steph writes, heck no. And Sheila Miller writes, number one. I guess these are it. Jerry Griggs, break? Absolutely not. Linda Bridges, no plan to take a break. I just can't. Steph writes, if I could have eaten in moderation, I'd never have gotten fat, right? People say, oh, everything in moderation. Well, for one thing, when you're a sugar burner, your brain wants more glucose. Glucose can't be stored, and it burns quickly. So if your brain is operating mostly on glucose, then it needs more, which is why every 2.5 hours, you've just eaten your heart-healthy, low-fat rice cake, half a grapefruit, skim milk, breakfast, and then you're like, well, get me some food. And so you go and get a muffin. More glucose. It's gone in 2.5 hours. Got to get more food. The Art and Science of Low Carbohydrate Living by Doctors Stephen Finney and Jeff Volek cleared this up for me. I'd been doing the protocol for 3 months maybe. And I was saying, why is this working? I knew that it was working. I knew how to get it to work. I wondered why it was working. And you can see that I have an Amazon My Faves. So the books that I recommend, anything that's on My Faves, I've purchased and I used. And some things I've taken off the list because I decided I didn't like them that much. Not books so much as things. No break here, no breaks. Adita writes, you are absolutely right, Casey. The only keto product I can find is Costco, and there are no keto products. There's no keto food. There are no keto chocolate brownie nuggets. There's no keto trail mix there. I mean, it'll say it is, but keto is a non-regulated term, so they can say anything they want. And when the next thing comes in, they'll replace the wording with another word. Slim Fast now has Slim Fast Keto. They just put keto on the word on the same packaging. Texas native writes, no breaks. I'm allergic to sugar and carbs. They make me sick. One of my patrons writes, I'm allergic to carbs. They make me break out in fat. Tina Christensen writes, I will never take a break. If I take a break, it will be a slippery slope to poor habits. I get very frustrated with the, quote, coaches that are doing this lately, and then they complain about health problems. Someone wrote earlier that a lot of influencers, so-called influencers, are kind of touting this. Can someone share with me? I don't follow anyone else. I don't watch any so-called influencers. I don't follow YouTube channels about this. Just don't. One thing that makes me want to yell at the screen. Can anyone share with me what their logic is? Or maybe they just want to eat the food they want to eat. Never my health is more important, writes Judy Tucker. Yvette Richards, I haven't been able to scale back the vegetables. Okay, Yvette, I'm going to recommend you change that wording. You have been able to scale back the vegetables. You just haven't done it. The vegetables are not leaping into your mouth, right? This is not an involuntary action. So you just have not decided yet to scale back on vegetables. That's fine if that works for you. But don't tell yourself you haven't been able to. It's 9:30. Thank you, darling. Heidi Crane. I've had way too long of a break and I need to lay off the carbs and excuses and get started. There you go. Thank you for being honest, Heidi. Doris. Hey, Doris. No break because it will make me feel poorly. So sick and hurting body because of sugar. No, thank you. Keeping keto. Uh, Pooler writes, Heidi Crane, you can and you will. There you go. I have that on ICINIW on my spreadsheet. I'm just trying to earn my keep around here with all this merch. I will not sell food products. I will not sell supplements. I will not sell meal plans. I will not sell that stuff. But I'm curious about the continuous glucose monitor. And I like designing the t-shirts and the mugs and the hats and the aprons and the little teddy bears. Tina Christensen, they say, you're talking about the influencers, they say it's unsustainable. And even one said, it's not fair that my family can eat whatever I can't. Was this an influencer? Well, they're just someone trying to cash in, and now they're finding they don't want to, and they're not true believers. They're like the preachers that go around and preach, and they're stealing the contribution money and having affairs with the parishioners. Pooler writes, LOL, vegetables leaping into mouth. Yes, that doesn't happen. Jerry Griggs. Tina, yes, that kills me when I hear the influencers. What a tacky phrase, right? Okay, Steph writes, the CGM, continuous glucose monitor, really helps. And they sell a lot of keto products. By the way, there is another person with my name out there, a so-called influencer, who sells exogenous ketones. And their channel, or their whatever their outlet is named very close to mine. Jerk. That is not me. Steph writes, stopped watching influencers who promote keto products. All right, guys, I am going to hop off. I need to get ready for my patron-only live stream. Make it a meaningful day. If you decide to own this, our food choices are our choices. We are stronger than a cookie. We are stronger than cornbread stuffing. We are stronger than Ferrero Rocher. If we decide to eat those foods, it's not because we're weak and it's not because we're victims. It's because we decided to do it. Own it. Own deciding not to eat those things. And come January 1st, try to feel triumphant as opposed to bloated. Okay, God willing. Hey, Gray's Custom Trim. I haven't seen you in a while. Everyone should remember the celebrations are about the people, not the food. So, Edita, Casey, I'm over 3 years on ketovore, but lately I find much harder to stick to my meat, eggs, butter, and I have digestive problem. I'm in the perimenopause and have horrible cravings. I don't know how to. You just say, cravings. No one ever died of a craving yet. Just got to plow through. Okay, thanks. I will see you next time. And thanks for the input. Be sweet. Just don't eat sweets.